Heartbreak has a way of shaking us to our core. It makes us question everything, our worth, our choices, our future. But here's the truth. The pain you feel right now is not a reflection of your value. It's a reflection of your attachment. The more you depended on him to validate you, to make you feel seen, to give you purpose, the harder this feels. But what if I told you that the very thing breaking you today is the same thing that will build you into the strongest version of yourself? Becoming unshakable doesn't mean ignoring the pain. It doesn't mean pretending you're fine when you're not. It means acknowledging the hurt but refusing to let it define you. It means looking in the mirror and deciding that the only person who gets to control your happiness from this moment forward is you. Let's talk about power. Real power. Power isn't about control over someone else. It's not about making him miss you or proving anything. Real power is the ability to stand tall, knowing that your worth has never and will never be tied to another person's presence or absence in your life. The moment you understand this, you stop waiting for closure. You stop wondering if he'll come back. You stop hoping he'll realize what he lost. Because none of that matters anymore. The only thing that matters is that you realize what you've always had within you. Now, how do you become unshakable? You build yourself up so high that nothing outside of you can knock you down. This starts with your mind. Right now, you might be obsessing over why he left, what you could have done differently, or if you'll ever find love again. Stop. The only question you need to ask yourself is, who do I want to become? This is where your transformation begins. If you've been neglecting yourself physically, emotionally, or mentally, this is the time to shift. Hit the gym, not because you want to look good for him, but because strength in your body creates strength in your mind. Read books that expand your thinking. Listen to podcasts that remind you of your potential. Surround yourself with people who push you forward instead of holding you back, because here's the secret. The more you invest in yourself, the more untouchable you become. The more you grow, the harder it is for anyone, especially him, to ignore your worth. You won't need to convince him of anything, because your presence alone will do the talking. He will see it in the way you carry yourself, in the way you no longer seek his approval, in the way your energy shifts from needing him to being completely self-sufficient. Think about the strongest, most successful, most magnetic people in the world. They all have one thing in common: certainty in who they are. They don't beg for love. They don't chase people who walk away. They don't dwell on rejection, because they know their value isn't dependent on who stays or who goes. This is the energy you need to step into. This is how you become unshakable. Because the moment you realize that losing him was never really about losing, you'll see that the only thing you ever needed was already within you. Pain is one of the greatest forces in the world. It can either destroy you or transform you, and the choice is entirely yours. Right now, you may feel like the weight of heartbreak is suffocating you. You might be replaying memories, questioning everything, and feeling like a piece of you has been ripped away. That pain is real, it's raw. But let me tell you something. Pain is also fuel. Think about the most powerful moments in your life, the moments that shaped you, the moments that forced you to grow. Were they the easy, comfortable times? No. It was the struggle, the heartbreak, the loss, the rejection. Pain is the birthplace of transformation. It forces you to confront yourself in a way that nothing else can. And right now, this pain you feel is an invitation to rise. You see, when you experience heartbreak, you have a choice. You can let it break you, or you can use it to build yourself into something greater than you've ever been before. Most people stay stuck in the pain. They sit in it, replay it, let it define them. But the ones who break free, the ones who use that pain as fuel, they become unstoppable. So how do you do it? How do you turn pain into power? First, you have to feel it. Too many people try to numb their pain. They distract themselves with meaningless things, jump into another relationship, drown themselves in work, or pretend they're fine. But real transformation only happens when you face your pain head on. Sit with it. Acknowledge it. Feel every ounce of it. Because the moment you allow yourself to fully experience it, you take away its power to control you. Next, you have to redirect it Pain is energy, and energy, when properly directed, can create extraordinary results. Think about some of the most successful people in the world, athletes, entrepreneurs, artists. Many of them took heartbreak, failure, or rejection and used it as the driving force behind their success. They didn't let it break them, they let it push them. This is your moment to do the same. Take every ounce of pain you feel and pour it into something meaningful. Hit the gym harder than ever. Use it to push your body to new levels of strength and endurance. Channel it into your work, your passions, your goals. Take that pain and let it fuel you to become the best version of yourself. Because when you do, something incredible happens. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start becoming the creator of your destiny. Pain also has a way of exposing your weaknesses. Maybe this heartbreak is revealing insecurities you didn't know you had. Maybe it's showing you where you depended too much on someone else for happiness. That's a gift. Because now you know exactly what you need to work on. Now you have a blueprint for becoming stronger, more independent, more resilient. Use it. And here's the thing about pain. It makes you hungry. It gives you a fire that comfort never could. People who've had an easy life, who've never faced real loss, they don't have the same level of drive as those who've had to fight their way back from pain. If you use this pain correctly, it will push you further than anything ever has before. The key is refusing to let it keep you stuck. Because if you do nothing with it, it will consume you, it will turn into bitterness, into regret, into resentment. But if you channel it, if you use it to fuel your growth, it will become your greatest weapon. Regret is one of the most powerful forces in the world. It sneaks up on people when they least expect it, gripping them in moments of quiet reflection, long after they thought they had moved on. The truth is, most people don't realize what they have until it's gone. And when that realization hits, it hits hard. Right now, you might be feeling the weight of loss, questioning if he ever cared, wondering if he will ever regret losing you. Let me tell you something, he will, but only if you make sure that what he lost is something he can never have again. That's where your power is. Not in trying to make him miss you, not in chasing him or proving your worth, but in becoming the kind of person he will look back on and think, damn, I really lost something special. Here's how the law of regret works. The mind naturally romanticizes the past when it realizes the present isn't as fulfilling as expected. People walk away thinking they'll find something better, that the grass is greener somewhere else. But time has a funny way of making them see the truth. It's only after they've experienced relationships that lack your depth, your kindness, your energy, that they begin to recognize what they took for granted. And that's where your transformation comes in. The key to making him regret losing you isn't about making him jealous or trying to get a reaction. It's about becoming so focused on yourself, so immersed in your own growth, that by the time he realizes what he lost, you're already light years ahead of him. Let's break it down. First, you need to shift your energy. Right now, if you're still thinking about him, still checking his social media, still hoping for a text, you're giving away your power. You're allowing him to live rent-free in your mind while he's out there living his life. Stop. Every moment you spend dwelling on him is a moment you could be using to elevate yourself. The best way to make someone realize your value is to remove your presence entirely. No breadcrumbs, no half-hearted interactions, no just checking in messages. The moment he feels your absence is the moment his mind starts filling in the gaps. He will wonder what you're doing, why you're not reaching out, why you suddenly don't care, and that's when regret begins to creep in. Next, you need to make sure that when he looks back, he sees a version of you that is stronger, happier, and more successful than ever. Work on yourself relentlessly. Invest in your health, your career, your passions. Step into a level of confidence that is undeniable. When he looks at you, he shouldn't see the person he left behind. He should see someone completely transformed. There's a psychological principle called loss aversion, which means that people feel the pain of losing something far more than they feel the pleasure of gaining something new. When he walked away, he probably thought he could replace you, that he would find someone else who could give him what he wanted. But the truth is, you are irreplaceable. And the moment he realizes that no one else matches your energy, your depth, your presence, that's when regret truly sinks in. But here's the real secret. By the time he realizes all of this, you won't care anymore. That's the ultimate power move. When he finally starts reminiscing, when he finally begins to understand what he lost, you will be so far ahead in your own life that his regret will mean nothing to you. And that is when he will feel the true weight of his mistake. Indifference is one of the most powerful psychological weapons you can wield. It is stronger than love, stronger than hate, and stronger than any attempt at revenge. It is the ultimate signal that you have moved beyond someone, that they no longer hold space in your mind, that their presence or absence is completely irrelevant to you. Most people believe the opposite of love is hate, but that's not true. Hate still requires emotional investment. Hate means you still care, that you're still affected, you're still reacting to the person who hurt you. But indifference is pure freedom. Indifference means they have lost all control over you. Right now, if you're still thinking about him, if you're still wondering if he'll reach out, if you're still feeling that deep ache in your chest when you see something that reminds you of him, then you are still emotionally invested. And that's okay. For now. But your goal, the ultimate power move, is to reach a place where his actions, his words, his existence no longer disrupt your inner peace. So how do you get there? How do you master the art of indifference? First, you must take control of your thoughts. Your mind is a battlefield, and right now he occupies too much space in it. Every time you replay the past, every time you check his social media, every time you wonder if he's thinking about you, you are giving him free access to your energy. Cut him off, not just physically, but mentally. When he comes to mind, redirect your thoughts to something productive. Train yourself to break the cycle. The less you feed the thoughts, the weaker they become. Second, understand that people crave what they cannot have. When you were in his life, he had your attention, your love, your energy. Whether he appreciated it or not, he was accustomed to it. But now that supply is gone. The moment he realizes he no longer affects you is the moment he starts to feel the weight of his loss. And here's the paradox. When you stop caring, he starts noticing. This isn't about playing games or pretending. You cannot fake true indifference. People can sense when you're acting like you don't care versus when you genuinely don't. The key is making real, lasting changes in your mindset and behavior. Remove him from your world, not in a dramatic, attention-seeking way, but in a way that makes it clear that he is no longer relevant. Stop checking for updates. Stop reacting to his actions. Stop engaging in any way. Let silence be your response. Let distance be your message. Indifference also requires internal work. If you're still hurting, still feeling like you need closure, then there's inner healing that needs to happen. Focus on building a life that is so fulfilling that he no longer even crosses your mind. Fill your days with purpose. Immerse yourself in growth. When you become deeply engaged in creating the best version of yourself, you naturally lose interest in the people who no longer serve your future. Another key element of indifference is the way you carry yourself. Your energy should reflect confidence, peace, and a sense of self that is unshakable. When you walk into a room, when people see you, there should be no trace of desperation, no lingering sadness. Only a person who is thriving. That energy is magnetic. It draws people in, and ironically, it often makes those who left you start questioning their decision. Lastly, recognize that mastering indifference is not about pretending that what happened didn't hurt. It's about reaching a point where what happened no longer controls you. It's about finding peace in knowing that life is unfolding exactly as it should. That what is meant for you will never require you to chase it, and that your worth was never tied to someone else's decision to stay or leave.